Welcome to Holiday Park. There's but one reason that I'm here today. It is Halloween's Eve, and we're not messing around. We're going straight to the reason why we are. We're gonna be busy over these 2 hours. Expedition GeForce is a ride that I've wanted to ride for over 20 years, and I'm finally here for the first time. I certainly hope that we can get on it. It's running, so if that's the case, you'll probably see a POV right now. Park is allowed on-ride POVs with GoPros. I'm hoping it's not too busy here right now, it looks like, because they do have a big Halloween event tomorrow. There it is. Expedition GeForce. It is literally a walk-on, so this is going to be pretty much a marathon night, over 2 hours. I do have 2 other credits to do here, so hopefully I'll fit them in. I'm pretty sure I will. I'd say if I get 5 rides on this thing right now, and 5 night rides, because we're going to at least get about half an hour of darkness, I'm going to be satisfied with the 90 some odd dollars that I paid for these 2 hours. All right, let's not mess around. Let's get on. Expedition GeForce. First time in the history of any park that I've ever been to, including the park that I was at earlier in the day. The ride-op, there was a front seat available next to a girl like 8 years old or something like that. And the ride-op's like, don't sit next to a little girl, it's not allowed. Like, okay, cool, but not at the same time. So that's just a little insight on what happens. That's a new one, to be honest, but I think it's kind of dumb. So if Holiday Park are watching, that seems a little bit discriminate, especially if I was a woman. I'm pretty sure that the rule would not be the same. So cool, whatever, spend $1,000 to get here, and that's how you get treated. I'm not a tough guy, and I don't think you would expect that from the way I conduct myself or being an enthusiast. Sorry, fellow enthusiasts, but at the end of the day, I feel a little bit bitter about the treatment that I had on that first attempt to get on the front seat, but I did finally get it. The only problem is that after talking to the nice gentleman next to me about how far I've come for the ride and all that kind of stuff, I finally get on the train, and then I tripped over the train, straight onto the platform, almost fell on my face. So double embarrassment to start the day, which is great. Oh well, I think I'm going to take a bit of a break from Expedition GeForce for a second, and yeah, I'm just smiling now. It's actually kind of ironic or silly, the whole situation, but I'm just going to take it for what it is. Take a break from the ride. I've had 2, and I'll come back here in a moment for some night rides. I guess it's just as well I could not write this experience, so I decided to do a 3rd ride on it. and the people ahead of the train, I guess, had just come off a water ride or something. So the entire sensation of my backseat ride was just getting splattered in the face, and I didn't at first figure out what it was, so I actually had to cover my face to not have to deal with that. All right, not ready for a review yet. Lots of problems, but whatever. I've had 3 rides on Expedition GeForce, and I'm blessed for that at least. Well, I have had 2 good rides on it, but you know, my brain was kind of frazzled by the initial incident, so now I'm going back again. We're gonna try to get, the sun is not quite down, so even though my GoPro has died out, and yeah, it's taken a lot, but we're at the end of the trip, so I'll keep my spirits up. We're gonna try it again, Expedition GeForce, and then I'm gonna maybe get some off-ride if the time allows. There are 2 other credits here that I have to capture. I'm sure I'll get them because like the park is barren. It's only people are just re-riding Expedition GeForce, so after this one I'll probably do an immediate 5th ride if nobody clamors into the station, because as opposed to when I first got here and there was nobody there except for 2 people waiting for the front row, now there's a bunch of people re-riding it. So maybe they're all part of Team Anti-Bumps Ahead. Who knows? But I'm paranoid, maybe? I don't know. Let's go. We're gonna go explore the park real quick, as we have about just short of an hour to do so. I finally managed to have 2 trauma-free rides on Expedition GeForce, and that I'm gonna save my review to the end for sure. I'm gonna do a couple of night rides. Now we do have a premier skyrocket here that I have to do, which is just over here, and there's an indoor coaster as well. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do any POVs of those. I'm sure you're not really gutted about the skyrocket. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a haunt area here. Uh-oh. I think this is the queue for the ride, but it's been turned into a haunt. Which way does one go? It looks like this way. Alright, yeah, we found it somehow. Alright, well that's done. We had to wait a couple minutes to see if anybody else would join us, but they didn't. And I'm not going to even wait for off-ride footage because I got to get to the other credit, as time is of the essence. 100% Wolf, the new attraction for 2025, is just beyond here. As you can see, there's not much construction that's been going on, or at least not yet, but it looks like that's bound to change soon. Sky Scream out of the way. I got a junior credit to capture at the very front in the indoor section of the park, and then I'm going to loop back to Expedition GeForce. But before that, I think I'm going to be able to sneak in the log flume, so I'm hustling over there now. We've got 24 minutes left. It's a bit of a ramshackle vlog, that's for sure, but I planned it this way. I was in the Trip Stroll parking lot and I was like, maybe I should just stay at that park, because maybe this park would have been busy like it was, but that certainly has not turned out to be the case. But I can't leave without doing this flume. Probably be a good ride to do at night, considering this lighting and the setup in the forest and everything. It would probably be a better ride in a moment. go, 10 meters. Photo. Ah! Ooh, I think I'm gonna get wet on this. Also still smells like manure. Manure everywhere. Indoor section. And that is all the water rolling down into my underpants. Ah, refreshing. Whoa. That's how I feel right now. Oi! Nice reverse drop. Pretty cool so far, and we're headed inside. Final drop. Remain seated. It's a nice refreshing break from all the kids out of school up here for a moment. Very, very cool. Oh, that's a view. All right, to the end. Well, I'm sure they will say something if they want to, because there's definitely cameras on this ride. But they haven't stopped it, so let's roll. Woo! Okay, the log flume did its job. We are splashed. It's pretty much perfect encapsulation of the day. Okay, I have a date with that in about T-minus 15 minutes, but before that I got one more credit to do here. A well laid out park. It's not huge, so it's actually quite manageable. I haven't done the other side because I came back for this log flume, so I'm gonna see if I can weave back to where I need to be on this side, but with all the human traffic moving, I don't know, I think it makes sense to go this way. Lots of water rides in this park, which is maybe why it's not too busy today. I'm sure it'll be busy tomorrow for its last day of the season, which is Halloween. I definitely made a good call coming here at the time that I did, I'll say that much. Would you believe someone back in the day commented, and maybe not for the last time, that you talk too much? Well, I'm gonna save you my commentary as I don't have much left to offer yet other than my Expedition GeForce review. So I believe the coaster has a bit of a queue, of course, so we're just going to go straight on and not waste our time covering the indoors, although this section looks great. The train has just arrived. Let's not dawdle, let's not dawdle. We're definitely back into a park where butting in line is not really managed. And that'll be that. We're off. No off-ride footage. Not messing about. Got to get over there. I might be able to squeeze in 3 rides if I'm lucky, maybe 2. Hopefully 1 on Expedition GeForce. Oh, there's a bunch of people distracted by the show, so I like my luck. What an ending. Well, I said to myself, if I get 8 rides on Expedition GeForce after what I paid, I'm pretty sure I said that in the intro, 8 rides. In fact, it's been ages since I've been on a train at the end of the night where the operators are like, we were on a full train, and they're like, do you want to go one more time? And everybody's like, of course. And we got 1 more ride. My final 2 rides in the back of the train. The one before that was like just slightly ahead of that position. I wish I could have captured it because it is lit up at night. So they're going to do one final test run, or their closing run for the night. So I'm going to capture that before I head out of the park. And then I'll give you my overall review of what that experience was like after waiting almost 25 years. Who knows if I'll ever get the experience, a chance to experience it again. While I have a moment, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be another run because they're just kind of closing up Expedition GeForce. What a sensational ride. An incredible first drop. Really, that is just a whip out drop that like you got to put your hands up for. And for many years, I'm sure was considered one of the best first drops in the world. This airtime hill behind me though, wow, I did not expect the ejector out of that. In fact, the first time that I did it, I was like, holy cow, like I didn't even know that this ride was actually packed with that much airtime. And it happens again after that first turnaround where you have another airtime hill, which is sensational too. Tapers off a tiny bit before you get to that direction change airtime hill 2, which was sensational. Definitely loved it. I got to find another adjective for sure. But that was one of my favorite elements for sure. And then leading back into the station, the final turnaround, airtime hill after airtime hill after airtime hill. Like it was just exactly what I wanted and expected. All right, I had to pause for a moment, just a fellow enthusiast there, just saying hello. And yeah, the lead back to the station, when you come down that final turnaround and then you go through like 3 simultaneous airtime hills. The first one had a ridiculous head chopper that I didn't know about as well. I tend to not watch too many POVs to try to not spoil the experience. But yeah, and then I felt like by the time we got to the brake run, I could have done with 1 more airtime hill. But you know, that's the case. It is almost a perfect coaster. I don't rate it higher than Superman at Six Flags New England. I'd say that it just beats it out, but it definitely is better than Millennium Force in my book. Millennium has 2 great elements to it, and then the rest is kind of like, but this thing, it hauls its entire course. And I'm not sure how warmed up it is today, because it's not the warmest of days, as you can see. If you can even see that, there's a little bit of breath. Yeah, it's cold air here today, so yeah, not so sure it's warmed up immensely, but it was running very smooth for what it is. Like it sounds like it should be a lot shakier and ricketier than it is, but no, that wasn't the case. Security. We're on our way out now, and at the end of the day, there is another coaster that's going to be built here in a year's time, so it'll probably be a matter of a year or 2 before I'm back, because I'm pretty sure with these Intamin mega coasters that they're going to be like, their days are somewhat numbered. The current age of how coasters are going in the modern era, no one's really buying 200-foot coasters anymore, but they're also, these Intamins don't really last more than 30 to 40 years from what I understand. We're getting to that time where suddenly a lot of these coasters are going to start leaving us, so I'm probably going to have to come back to this park to do it one more time before that fateful day comes. Even the enthusiast that I was talking to earlier, he was saying how it's very unusual because this is a family park and they have this mega coaster here, but it's been here for the better part of 25 years, and it attracts people from around the world, so it only makes sense in my book that they have it in order to draw a little bit of a different crowd. But anyhow, I'm all done. I feel like I've gone on a tour duty that finished in 2 hours rather than this entire trip, but it's all done. I was really worried about whether or not I'd get this credit when I came for this trip, because it was one of the key reasons why I came here. Unfortunately, I did. All right, that's all from Holiday Park. I am obsessed over getting to this park for ages, and that was a perfect 2 hours. It didn't start perfectly, that's for sure, and just to... I ended up on friendly terms with the ride op at the end of the day, but I did ride with a little girl in that junior credit, so just to say, I don't know, that was silly. I probably wanted the perfect 8 rides on there, so at the end of the day, I didn't really miss out on anything other than maybe the Intamin drop tower, which I would have been able to fit in. At the end of the day, when you come to a park and you want everything, you can't get everything unless you really commit to like Disney level types of time. A great log flume. It had a skyrocket. I don't know much to say than it was a skyrocket. It was actually pretty decent. It didn't, no seat belts, and no comfort collars and all that jazz that you get back home. So that ride would be bragged about like it is at, say, Lake Compounce. You have the same situation here with that ride. So yeah, it's definitely was way more enjoyable than the other ones that I've been on, other than the one at Lake Compounce. Great day. The junior credit was good. It's a traditional figure 8 coaster. Nothing really much to say about it. 2 runs around the track in this show building with, like a starry night setup and Vikings all strewn about. I'm not really sure what the theming was about, but it was good for what it was. It wasn't anything sensational. The sensation is Expedition GeForce. I'm so glad I finally got it. All right, guys. I have a 5-hour trip to Amsterdam, or at least just outside, before my final park of this journey. And we're going to a park that I actually haven't been to since the start of this channel many years ago. And that's the F-Telling. We're going to be there for Spooks-A-Lot, or the new version of Spooks-A-Lot, which is Danse Macabre, their new Intamin prototype flat ride, which I'm very excited about. Opening day. For now, though, thanks for dropping in.